What is up, you guys? It's John here, and today I want to explain how I learn new music. I usually sing 3 masses every Sunday, so I'm constantly learning new music every week. And in school, I learned and memorized an hour's worth of music for one of my recitals, and that recital was in 5 different languages. So I want to tell you how I do it, how I learn new music. These strategies can also be applied to anything you have to learn or memorize. So I know that you'll find value out of this video. I know that there's different types of learners. Some are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic, and some need to write everything out. I personally use all 4. I find value in all 4 ways of learning. I find multiple techniques to be useful, and I'm going to explain all of the techniques that I use in this video. These are the techniques that I use when I'm trying to learn something new. So the first tip, I just want to get this out of the way. I find when you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, you retain information instantly. Let me know if it works. Smash that like button down below, make it turn blue. Let me know, does it work? So let's start with auditory learning. With music, I always research and find an accurate recording. If I'm learning a hymn for church, I type in the name of the hymn on YouTube in the search bar, and usually OCP has all of the hymns recorded. So I create a playlist of all of the music that I'm going to be singing that weekend and listen to it all the time. It is very important that you're comfortable with every interval in each hymn, especially if you're the one leading each hymn. What if you're trying to learn something in a different language? Well, when I was in school, I did recitals, and the music was in 5 different languages. So I created a playlist on Spotify for every song that I sang. I personally would stay away from student performances on YouTube because you really want an accurate performance. You want the text pronunciation to be accurate, and you want the music to be accurate. Moving on, the last thing about auditory learning. If you somehow cannot find a recording on YouTube or Spotify, I personally use my voice recorder all the time. When I was in school, I recorded every voice lesson that I went to. So yeah, it might be a good idea to use your voice recorder if you can't find a good recording. And if you have proficient keyboard skills, use your voice recorder and play it on a piano and listen to it over and over. So now let's move on to visual. For music, I look at the sheet music while I listen to the recording. When you see notes on a page, it helps your brain see the measurements between each interval and the duration of each note. Now, if I'm learning something that has a lot of text, I will try and break it down, and I find note cards to be extremely useful. I write the text to a song on a note card, and I find when you take out the music, take out the musical notes, and condense all of the text onto a single note card, it makes it so much easier to memorize the text because there's not the distraction of the music. If the song is in a foreign language, sometimes I go as far as taking the IPA symbols, which means the International Phonetic Alphabet, and they help you pronounce words in foreign languages. So I take the symbols in IPA and I put each symbol on a sticky note and put all of the sticky notes on my wall. When I was in school, I found this to be extremely useful because the sticky notes were always in front of my face. So the sticky notes were there when I was in my dorm, and I always had a note card for when I left the dorm and was on the go. Pretend you were in line at Starbucks. Instead of going on your phone, I would always pull out my note card and study the text instead of wasting time. That is what I do under the visual category. Now let's go on to kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learners need to move. Now, this one is important. It doesn't matter what you do, you eventually have to do what you're practicing for. You can't look at music, have never physically sung it, and expect to do well. You can't read about push-ups and expect to see results. So kinesthetic learning is easy to explain, and for music, I personally practice and sing the music before I perform it. It is muscle memory. Every note you sing, every interval, every high note, your body learns what it feels like. So make sure that you're practicing correctly. The last style that I listed was writing everything out. And for me, that goes back to writing everything out on a note card or a sticky note. Now, I don't do this, but one thing that you can do is something called word pyramids. That's when you take the first line and you write the first word, and on the second line, you write the first 2 words, and the third line, the first 3 words. It's really time consuming. It can help, so that's why I said it. I personally don't do it. It's something I did in 2nd grade when we were learning our spelling words. We would take the first letter and then do 2 letters and then 3. I don't know if that's going to help you, but that's just another tip I wanted to add. So in summary, for auditory, I get a good recording and I listen to it all the time. For visual, I look at the music while I listen to the good recording. For kinesthetic, you have to physically sing before you perform it in public. And for writing everything out, I personally use sticky notes and note cards. So I hope these tips helped. Let me know if you have any tips in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.